Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the Medium by Design. Today's two messages are from a new ET race. And remember, I was told earlier this year that this would be the year that the ETs would introduce themselves to me. I am not the first one. There are many other people receiving messages on the internet, sharing them. This one, though, I did get a name, which maybe you guys can help. Anybody who knows this stuff, it's an interesting name. So we'll see. If anybody knows of this race. So the first thing I said was, does your race have a name? Yes, we are called by the name Honor Seth. The word honor, S-E-F. I hope that it is a clear translation. Although we are familiar with the earth languages, we still use our own to communicate in our culture. We have not been asked by many to come through, as there are very few who have been aware of us thus far. This is not to say that humans cannot be aware of us, but we have been very careful not to scare a large number. Remember, you have been receiving messages from numerous groups that may have lived on Earth and those that have not. We are another group that has not. However, we do possess the technology to affect the human body in many positive ways to counteract much of the abuse that has occurred during this timeline, as well as the history of the human race. So there's their general job that they came to help us with. And they do go further with this. This power is available to every soul who picks up or becomes aware of us. Let's talk about how to connect with these different ET races. As you see, you are gently exposed to raise your curiosity, and you choose if you want to learn and know more by simply asking. It is not difficult, but you see that many still do not believe that they can do it. They simply don't even try or allow the time for this to occur naturally. After all, what is happening now is part of the natural evolution of this planet, and anyone that chooses to go through this powerful time of change. So now they're talking about what I do, and that there are many of you out there that can do this. The changes that are occurring now are not easily understood by the linear mind, which might cause the resistance of mind to open, to even begin to understand. However, the easy way around that resistance is to relax and open to what you do not know. After all, isn't this how you receive this information, Salvatore? You know you do not know. That stance allows you to continue to receive more of what you do not know. And here we are. And they were laughing. Yes, we do have a sense of humor also. So then I asked, are you helping me with my physical body at this time also? So I'm curious, what's my part in their job? Yes, but there are others working with the non-vaccinated ones also. We can work on multiple pharmaceutical damage that has been caused during this timeline. We can also work on some of the DNA repair related to pharmaceutical damage, and even some that is not. However, there are others that have their own specialties that are assisting also. Remember, when you were told that this was the year of the ET communication for you, well, here is another piece of the puzzle. You should consider yourself very lucky, as you have truly disconnected from much of the nonsense being thrown around by your race. The way you have discovered to get to a different truth will come in handy for the rest of your Earth years. This is the most gentle way to receive, learn, and utilize all the energies that are literally at your disposal to call on for assistance. Then, by consciously opening yourself, your being, your body, to receive these energies, they can enter you to be utilized for your individual good. With these energies comes information, wisdom, and knowledge that can be disseminated through your culture for others to utilize if they wish. This part is pretty simple. I guess the most tricky part is what we are doing right now, communicating in your native language. We have to learn all the world's languages as we are called to communicate with any of those around your globe that wish to receive verbal communication. In your case, immediately creating this writing. Some, like your friend, received the vision, but did not have the level of openness to receive the explanation through words. He can, though, if he wishes and allows the time to do so. So you see, they're trying to be supportive of this communication that many people can get. Just like so many more humans could open to this level of communication, you will find that most will not. Some do not have the human wiring to do so, but some do and simply will choose not to. Some will be so wrapped up in other information they received, albeit false, they will have shut down their own human wiring to receive information for themselves. That is a very, very important statement. Very important, how we can shut down ourselves. This is where even more damage to your systems can occur. By allowing others to constantly feed your need for information, stimulation, you continue to, quote, dumb down your abilities. Yes, we are a quick study and have heard many humans talk about their society seemingly losing its ability to think critically and also going so far that many have lost all common sense. We can concur. We hope that through the work that you are sharing and those many others that are receiving a new level of clarity, that others will get on board to what is available to help them understand and then improve their own lives through their own level of opening, receiving, and utilize what is right in front of them, utilizing what is right in front of them. This is available to anyone that asks, opens, and receives. Can you see why this transition requires this much quiet, rest, and even alone time? If you can truly understand this, then you can let go consciously and of the impatience and frustration you might be carrying. Or then again, maybe not. It is all up to you. Of course, they know that my frustration and impatience keeps popping up now and then. So the next day I did another message with them. I wanted to continue. So let's just jump in. We certainly do want to continue, as it is a chance for humans to get acquainted with yet another benevolent race. For far too long, the information being spread about alien races has been manipulated or simply focused on those races with nefarious agendas against humans. But as you know, there is always another side to the story. We, as well as many others that are surrounding your planet currently, are committed to helping humans get on the highest track available by assisting to correct and restore the many damaged DNA strands. So you see how this work parallels what scientists are finding about our DNA? I mean, it's true. All of this is connected. This seems like a spiritual experience to me, but scientists can back this up in their lab. So there is a definite merging of the two supposedly different sides. We know that speaking to you in this way is slightly above your pay grade, but we assure you that we will explain everything in very understandable language so that anyone that finds your videos can discern the truth for themselves. Well, you know, I don't like them speaking above me. And I don't want to do that with you either. So let's continue with more of the current circumstances that are affecting human reality at this time. For many humans are still stuck in their reality loop that has no final conclusion. They are not only stuck on what you call a wheel of karma, but they have not found a true purpose to their lives. By keeping themselves in the dark, they cannot find real meaning, which has them stay in ignorance, which has them never finding real meaning, and so on. It truly is a dead end with no real end. The only way out of this vicious cycle is to seek. Your own Bible states this so clearly, and yet only a small percentage of the race has grasped this simple yet powerful concept Just as you remind everyone, continue to ask for everything you want, need a solution to, resolution, clarity, information, wisdom, the list is never ending. Asking immediately opens the door to another possibility. If you cannot open the door, you cannot receive the answers, the new. That's a very important section too, and I do this in all my talks, and many of the videos talk about asking and receiving and opening ourselves up. And you heard me say numerous times that when I do my walking prayer and my request and projecting the energy I want to see in the world, I always do this and return that energy back to me full circle. So all the positivity that I put out from my heart that I want to see in other human beings and on this planet and in this world, once I send all that loving energy out, I just ask that it be returned to me full circle. And I do this, and I sometimes will put my hands and arms up, and then I will get a confirmation from the other side that we hear you, because my whole body will tingle. This happens in readings, this happens on the phone in conversations, it happens to me a lot, and then recently it's happening to others while we're talking. So it's a very, very tangible, physical experience of confirmation from the other side. And again, if you have these kind of experiences, please comment about what you're going through. Because if you're going through it, I can guarantee you there are others going through it. None of us are alone, even though sometimes I feel like I am doing this work. We're not. There are many others around the world that are also receiving and feeling and getting messages just like this. Okay. So we talked about the Bible. Now, take this one step further. Once the decision to keep the door closed is set, then all the other nefarious ones disseminating the information they want you to look into and believe have the opportunity to take you into that rabbit hole path. The difference is none of that information will help you truly understand the universe and what is really happening, and therefore will bring nothing useful, tangible into the lives of those who accepted that information. This should be the easiest way to discern information, and yet you see so many being fooled, living in dissolution. These distortions of reality being accepted by many are proving to keep humans in ignorance and keeping their true power beyond their reach. Can you see how this is all self-imposed? The power, clarity, truth, information is right there at everyone's fingertips, and yet the common response is, that isn't real, that's not useful. However, when told of those nefarious groups running the world, taking children, abusing many, that information is accepted, and not seeing any solutions to those many atrocities is also accepted. What society spends endless time on finding out who is doing what, who is against the human race, and then does nothing about it to correct the problem? Great question, I thought. Can you see the crazy lunacy of staying in the dead-end information loop? If one of your computers was doing this, you would immediately try to find the problem, virus, or issue to correct. If it could not be corrected, you would throw it away. Why can't this be done with all the information that is not helpful to your personal evolution? We hope that this message helps others open their eyes to what is truly not needed and assists to get more people on their own highest and best individual path. So yes, there is much information being shared by many levels of beings, and the human ego remains trapped and believes it is receiving something beneficial when in fact none of the information is helping with moving forward or a higher evolutionary placement. So, how does the human break these bonds and move up the evolutionary cycle? By carrying the highest energy frequency and sharing it with everyone you come in contact. By following your innate, important here, inspirational proddings that bring more joy, love, happiness, freedom, and whatever else keeps you in that elevated state. By living your truth for all to see, you get to raise the frequency of the planet. By listening to sharing lower frequency information and realities being thrust into your consciousness by lower frequency beings and humans, you keep yourself in those frequencies and unable to rise above it. I found this incredibly interesting. And again, remember, Jesus was teaching us to really discern what we exposed our nervous system to, and the message of protect your nervous system. And how we do that is exactly what they're saying. We're listening to things, we're exposing ourselves to information, but we have to really check in, is this going to help us individually rise above what we're perceiving in this world? And then how does it tangibly affect our lives to help us create a better life experience with more love, joy, and happiness? Now, this is different from when you're in the middle of clearing, and I want to take a minute on this, because even though this sounds really lovely and it's really very clear of what they're here to do and here to help us and how to discern, there are many of us still including myself. I'm in the equation here. Remember, I'm not on some pedestal and just looking like, oh, well, look at what's happening over there. No, I'm in the middle of things myself, including this current week, which is why I haven't done any videos in a week. So the thing about that is we continue to do clearings on, I'm not going to say a regular basis, but on our own timeline, because we too are carrying old energies that is the lack of accurate information that we accepted and then became a program that we lived by. So it's really getting much deeper to what are these programs? And when we see, well, here's a perfect example. What the theme of the readings lately, the sessions have been, is people, usually one person in a family, helping to clear the family baggage, right? And then many of these people are having to move away from their families and communicate differently and not say certain things and not engage. Well, for me as an Italian, how do you not engage? You know, it's just a very interesting way to maneuver through the different energies that people are carrying. And this, I think, is the most important part of this whole video, is that when you're really understanding energy and your heart is opening to make this system a very fine-tuned antenna, you can't not pay attention anymore. You can't be swimming in information that is not for your highest good. And this has been going on all through this 3-year transition, through many of the messages. So, you know, the only thing I could say is, because remember, I can't tell anybody what to do or how to live, but I can suggest being more aware and seeing how you feel when you watch something or when you're with somebody. And remember, there's still, we're pulling out of engagement. We're pulling out, which means these triggering, so-called triggering energies, once we do rise above that kind of energy, we don't have to engage with that anymore. We don't have to do anything with that. And that is a really great place of power. It really is taking your power back, which Jesus has spoken about too. So, you know, if I could leave you with, just pay more attention in your daily life. Try to project the higher frequencies, love, peace, harmony, joy, and cooperation between you and everyone else that you are engaged with or that you have to be engaged with. And then remember, you're sending the energy out before you arrive. So these are just simple energy exercises. Just take a pause, or while you're driving to a location, you're sending out what you'd like to see, and you're blessing everybody there, even the people you don't like, even the people you think are frictional. You keep sending the energy out and blessing and blessing and blessing and love and peace and harmony and cooperation with all souls involved. And you stay in that frequency and then ask that frequency or those frequencies be reflected back to you. Here's something else that came up recently in a phone call, and I'll just give this to you and see if this plays out. People are still having trouble with other people. This is human condition, right? So if that's going on, if someone is bringing lower energy to you for some reason and you don't understand why, rather than becoming the energy that they're projecting to you, take a pause with them. Just try this out of curiosity. Take a pause with them and say, is everything all right? Can I do anything to help you? Do you need any help with anything? And turn the whole energy around to you being the cooperative one and sensing that something's going on without getting too deep with the person until they open to express to you, which happens to me all the time, of course, because people trust me that they can tell me anything and express anything. So try these simple exercises. Re-listen to what this new race to me is sharing about our bodies and any pharmaceuticals that have left some kind of residual effects on us, and add that to your prayer. Clear me of any damage that I caused to this body, that this body has been exposed to. I mean, it's pretty simple. And you just keep asking for those energies that can counteract anything that has happened to our bodies. So it's really coming from a total energetic perspective, and then the power to use energy and receive it the way you wish. So with that, if you found anything useful and you want to be supportive, which I hope you do, like, subscribe, email me, have a chat in the comments. Just see what you're inspired to do, open your heart, bring that loving energy to the world, and let's continue to go up the evolutionary spiral, even when we're in some of these other energies and have to kind of plow through. So God bless everybody. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for listening. And I will see you shortly.